Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. This is Denise, your Ascension mentor and your heart math coach. And I know I did a video a while back about the event. Before the event hits, what are the things that we can do? And I said I would add to that. And so today I thought it'd be really interesting to add to that. And one of the things that I can't stress enough about helping you attain ascension, raise your vibration, and imbue this event thing that we're all talking about. It doesn't happen by you sitting on the couch at home watching videos like this. I know. But anyways, today I wanted to talk about trees and how smart people are that hug trees. And I live up on Mount Chavano in Colorado, and I have pinyon trees all around me, and I love, love, love pinyon trees. They are so gnarly. Each tree has its own personality, its own design, its own shape, its own personality. And I just love these trees. And I wanted to talk a little bit about why it's so important to hug a tree. And I've been doing this for years. And my husband builds houses. And if we buy a lot that has trees on it, I'm out there trying to help him figure out the best way to dig the foundation for these houses without cutting any of the trees down. And I want to tell you a really quick story. The last house that I lived at, we had these enormous pinyon trees in our backyard. They figure it was probably 200, 300 years old because they're a slow growing tree, but this tree was, probably 40 feet tall. But it had a huge branch that it was real tall, but it waterfalled down onto the ground, and underneath it, it was so large underneath you could put picnic tables. And I just love that tree. And matter of fact, when one of my little poodles crossed over, I buried him underneath that tree. But then we had to sell that house. And I was really sad when I found out that the people that bought that house cut that tree down. And to me, it was like a stab in the heart because I had connected to that tree. And matter of fact, selling that property was really, really hard because I was so connected to the nature around that property. And for these people to just cut this tree down, I was sad for 2 weeks. It was like losing a pet. So anyways, what do the Taoists say about trees? And, the Taoists know that trees aren't just turning our carbon dioxide into oxygen. They know that the trees can take negative energies and turn them into positive energies. I mean, need I say more? But, trees are a spiritual conduit. The as above, so below, they're connected, their roots grow down into Gaia, and they're connected to Gaia. And, people who like to earth, go out and do earthing, they stand on the ground on their bare feet, like me up here in the mountains. We've got snow and ice on the ground yet. Though I do go barefoot a lot, it was a little hard at this time of the year. So what I do is I hug a tree. And because they are energetic and spiritual conduits, if you want to communicate with Gaia that way, that's perfect. You can grab the tree and communicate with the tree and communicate with Gaia at the same time, because it's going down that tree you're touching the tree and your energy is mixing with that tree and it's going down into Gaia herself. So that's one way of doing earthing in the winter time. But what does science have to say about what is actually happening to us when we are hugging a tree? It's more than just grabbing the tree and digging your nails into the soft pulp of their bark and, smelling in that scent. And it's what is really happening is there is an increase of the hormone oxytocin. And, this is that hormone that keeps us in that parasympathetic state, that resting and digesting state, where we're just calm and happy and at ease. So, the trees put us in this state of at ease. And at Heart Math, we talk about this all the time, going into that inner ease, finding your inner ease. And, when you're doing that, when you're connecting with that feeling of inner ease, you're releasing dopamine and the oxytocin. And so it's also, the trees will also release serotonin along with the dopamine. And so, there's much to be said about being high out in nature, isn't there? I mean, can't get much better than that. So, tree huggers, rejoice. There is science that backs up to what we feel and what we're doing when we're out there hugging a tree. But, it's really interesting because the Japanese do something that's called forest bathing, and I've never heard of this. I was just doing a little bit of research, and I never heard of this, but I printed out this little article here, and this practice of forest bathing is believed by many Japanese to enhance the immune system, which we know, if you're in a state of coherence, you're releasing those hormones. It's helping you to go into a state of coherence. So when you're in a state of heart coherence, you are actually rebuilding that immune system. But the Japanese call it Shinrin Yoku, and they've been using it in their companies to promote healthier lifestyle for their employees. That's kind of cool. They should do that here. All right, everybody, take a break. We're going to go out and hug a tree. How cool would that be? I need to talk to Fort Collins, because if they let women ride their bikes around bare-breasted, I bet you they would love it if their employees would go out and hug a tree. But taking a stroll through the forest, it can make you stronger and healthier. And the reason for that is the essential wood oils. Oh, that's like me in the fall. It's such a high in the fall when I go out in the forest, and the smell of the decaying leaves and the moist earth, because that's when we get more of our moisture, more of our rains. And it's so uplifting for me to smell that. Oh, I could just lay right on the ground and roll in it. But the essential oils that are emitted from the trees, interestingly enough, which I did not know, increases the number of killer cells in the body. Isn't there food? Is there foods that we eat that do the same thing? Free radical scavengers, your foods like your pumpkins, anything that's orange, anything that's really, really colorful. So that's what is happening when you're out there hugging a tree. How cool is that? So these cells can help fight against disease and sicknesses. So, and they say the 5 senses are strengthened with forest bathing, and the more one forest bathes, the stronger these senses become. So how cool is that? And I want to share a picture. Let's see if I can do this. There it is. All right. Do you remember the movie Avatar? Okay, so this is a picture of the tree on Avatar. I'm not even sure what they call it, the life-giving tree, but the beings in this movie knew that this tree was so sacred, and they recognized the healing abilities of this tree. Isn't this the tree that healed what's her name? One of the scientists in the movie. She got hurt, and in the end, the tree healed her. But in essence, the Avatar, they're saying the same thing. Science is proving that today. And if you can get into a state of heart coherence by going out and hugging a tree, you're healing yourself, and you're also healing the planet. And I do this, and it's really interesting because when I go out in the morning, I have to walk through the trees to go feed the horses. And on the way back, I always, grab the branches. And it's interesting because when I am working with tree energy, I get more energy from the end of one of their branches than if I was to hug the tree trunk itself. I found that out, that for me, I get more of a energetic zing when I touch the branches. The other day it was really interesting because I must have picked the right tree that was really feeling good, because I grabbed the branch and I stood there, and I could feel the wash over me, and it just, from the top of my head down to my feet. And then when it washed down my feet, and then I allowed it to go ground into Gaia herself, I just got these huge goosebumps. It's just like my body just went electric, body electric. And so this is what a lot of us is feeling when we hug a tree. And science, of course, it's igniting hormones, and we have 1,400 hormones in our body, and the ones that I mentioned are the ones that we want to keep working to keep us in that state of coherence, and keep away the cortisol. So this is one of my recommendations, as far as for those of you who are still waiting for the event, or those who are working for Ascension, those who want to raise their vibration, those who want to have more love, more feelings of calm and ease and love in their lives. This is one of the things that you can do. And I'm going to turn that off. Stop share. Okay, so guys, get out there, hug those trees, breathe in the essential oils. And also, what I like to do is, this is what we teach in Heart Math, is we like to imbue that feeling of joy and love and appreciation, and then send it out to the trees. And then when it's sent out to the trees, you allow it to come back to you. And so that's one of the things, that's another thing that you can do to assist your ascension and help you get into that event and raise your frequency. So get out there and hug trees, you guys. And if you need any more help with that, contact me. I'm always available to assist and mentor and coach. And so thank you for listening to my video, and we'll talk to you soon.